Who would have thought it? We've made it to episode 7. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another lunch. I'm Ben, and this guy is
Jack. Am I
Ben
only?
and Jack.
It's only 7. We've only done 7.
Yeah. Well, 2 a week has sort of sped up the process, but yeah, we're on show 7 now. We've had some great guests. That means that 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. We're on our 14th guests today. So by the time we've spoken to James and Nimisha, we've spoken to 14 people on this show. It's quite good. Yeah, it's all right. Isn't it? How's your week been, mate?
It's been all right, actually. I've been.
I want to say week. I mean weekend.
Only Tuesday. Yeah, weekend was good. Really nice weather, wasn't it? Sunday, particularly.
It's boiling out there today as well. I've just gone in the back garden. I don't know why, but my fiance's just like literally taking apart a shed. I don't know why, but she's doing it.
Do you not need it?
Apparently not.
It's like I'm bored.
This is what lockdown has done to my fiance Charlotte. She's bought like radiator covers. She's making twig love heart things to go on the walls. She's making shelves, and now she's taking down like sheds and putting them back up.
She's nesting.
I mean, she is proper nesting. So we are obviously today we've got loads going on. We've got loads on the show. So please, guys, if you're watching for the first time, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. It'd be great to have you as part of our Digital Beans community and family, and you'll get a notification whenever we go live in the future. But also stick with us because we've got 2 amazing guests today coming up shortly. James Cridland, who's a radio and podcast futurist, is going to be talking about the future of radio and podcasts, and I'm sure he'll have some tips if you're looking to go into podcasting. And Nimisha from Nim's Fruit Crisps is going to be talking innovation with us because, Jack, they've won a couple of awards recently, which are pretty cool, right?
Yeah, a royal seal of approval.
Yeah. So we'll talk about innovation with Nimisha in a little while. And, of course, we've got our 90-second tip today with account manager and our lead web developer, Benjamin Linden, will be here and he's going to be talking about Facebook competitor analysis. He'll be demonstrating how you can look at competitors' Facebook ads, which is pretty cool. And our featured 5 and challenge Jack, that's all on the way. But first things first, Jack, you wanted to do a bit of a show and tell today, didn't you?
I did.
What have you got for us today? Because you spoke about this in our vlog.
Yeah, I did. So they did an experiment in Japan. And the reason that this came to my attention is because I was looking at various kind of innovations in video. So they didn't run an experiment using something called black lights, which is a bit like UV lighting. So it shows up white things and all that kind of thing. So what they did was they got 10 participants, set up a sort of buffet restaurant scenario. They gave some lotion to one participant, as you can see, adding it to his hands. No one else had the lotion on their hands. You can see it under the black lights. You can't see it as well the rest of the time. They all go up, they get their food, they sit down. 30 minutes into the experiment, they cut the lights, and then you can see how far the lotion spread. Everybody has it on them. Some people have it on their face. It's all over the plates, the utensils, everything at the buffet, like the handles on the tongs and the spoons. That lady's got it on her, whatever that is. And it just showed that in 30 minutes, how quickly a virus can spread in a place like a restaurant. And I just thought,
crazy.
That's a really good visual, like a good way to show people why they need to be so kind of anal, quite frankly, about washing their hands and personal hygiene in general, particularly when there's a pandemic.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it's experiments like that sort of show the seriousness of even day-to-day like flus and viruses that go around, yet alone COVID-19. Like, that is crazy how quickly that spreads.
Yeah.
I don't think I can ever go to a buffet again.
No, I know. It's not a great video to watch before you go out to eat. But...
No, definitely not. And I'm always just now, whenever I pick up a knife and fork, I'm going to be washing my hands. Anyway, let's move on with today's featured 5. If you are in the SMEs in Kent Facebook group, if you post about your business, you have a chance of appearing on our SMEs in Kent featured 5 list. And we've got a few good ones today. Jack, do you want to start?
I do. During these testing times, Paul Slaney is looking to work with new or small to medium businesses that would be interested in a professional website designed free of charge. If you're interested, email Paul at paul.slaney, that's SLANEY, at solutions2xl.com with your interest, and he will be in touch.
Jenny Louise Reed is a pet photographer based in Folkestone, covering all animals from fur, feathers, and scales.
Don't give me that one.
Scales. See some of Jenny's snaps and contact her on our Instagram page, instagram.com/feline doggius. Did I say that right?
Doggius.
Doggius. Feline doggius. That's it.
Doggius.
It's DOGGEOUS.
It's a good one. Caremark Thanet, Dover and Canterbury offer 24-hour care 7 days a week. If you require a professional care services in Thanet, please call Caremark on 01843 235 910. If you require care in Dover, Deal and Sandwich, please call 01304 892 448.
On Thursday morning, this is a bit of a self-promotion opportunity here, Jack. Get us on Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Digital Beans, okay, us guys, are hosting a webinar exclusively in the SMEs in Kent Facebook group. You can find out the details via the post in the group. It's all about moving your business online for free. You can join at facebook.com/groups/SMEs Kent.
Love it. Joanna Francis is based in Maidstone and helps other business owners build out their marketing funnels, utilizing Facebook ads and email marketing from MailChimp to Infusionsoft and many other email marketing platforms in between. If you're searching for the help you need to implement a marketing strategy, find out more information about Jo on her website, jofrancis.biz.
I was well behaved in the featured 5 today.
You were really well behaved. I saw your name tag popping up here now, and I thought, oh, it's coming.
Do you know what? I just thought because we're going to be talking about Caremark, Thanet, Dover, and Canterbury, we shouldn't be joking because a lot of people out there need help right now. And Caremark, Thanet, Dover, and Canterbury are doing amazing things, offering 24-hour care at home. So those numbers, just one more time, I want to mention them again. For Thanet, please call Caremark on 01843 235 910. Or if you're in Dover, Deal, and Sandwich, please call 01304 892448. Maybe you know someone who needs some help. Take down those numbers and give them a call because they may be able to help you, a family member, or a friend. And yes, I'm going to prat about again next week or even on Thursday.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Jack reads anything that's down on a bit of paper. If you want to be in our featured 5 on Thursday show, just join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/SMES Kent. You'll also be able to check out the webinar we're doing Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Just look out for our post. Right, as mentioned, hit subscribe. Our 90-second tip is on the way. Don't go anywhere. Benjamin Linden's going to be here talking about Facebook ads, competitor analysis, and a little bit about demonstrating how you can look at competitors' Facebook advertisements that are live. But right now, Challenge Jack today is a bit of a different one. We're going to work up a sweat.
Yep, today we're doing the press up challenge.
You want me to go to the Instagram story? Did you do one? There's no Instagram story.
There totally is an Instagram story. You did this last week.
Yeah, I think it's not loading for me for whatever reason. So what is the challenge? What are we doing?
The challenge is I have challenged 5. That's 5 businesses to join me in the press up challenge at the end of the show. And so essentially what you've got to do is 10 press ups. Perfect, perfectly executed press ups, which sounds easy, right?
I mean, I can do 10 press ups.
Thing is, you don't believe me, but I actually worked out this morning before work.
Yeah, all right then. Yeah. Can I read this word for word? Did you put it on here? Oh, yeah, here we go. So Jack, for his notes, put down on here for this bit, although I already worked out this morning and done 80 press-ups, so I'm not feeling that positive about doing the 10 today. You are full of rubbish.
I look freshly pumped.
Mate, where are those swans? Oh, yeah, there we go. Like when you do the... No, we can't do this. Can you see Benjamin Linden in the green room smirking? There we go. There they are. We should have added him in then, but we won't embarrass him.
Is he there already?
Yeah, he's there already. Let's do the press up challenge a bit later on today. But you have tagged in 5 people, right? So we're going to see if they take on the challenge before the end of the show as well. And then you've got one more challenge you want to set, I believe.
I would like to invite all of our dear colleagues, including you, Mr. Pierce, to join me. Just think about it this way, yeah? If there's loads of us doing it, we're gonna.
Mate, we've got to move on. This show isn't going to wait for people. We've got to move on. I don't like this. What? So you want the whole of the Digital Beans team to come in here and take on the press up challenge with you?
Oh yeah. Why not?
I don't want to do that. I've done a hit session this morning.
Oh.
Right, we'll do that before the end of the show today. Nimisha's on the way. We're going to talk about innovation within businesses with her. She is the founder of Nims Fruit Crisps. They've recently won a Queen's Award, so we'll get into that. But first of all, I want to welcome our first guest on, James Cridland. He's the MD of media.info, publisher at podnews.net. James is a radio and podcast futurist. James, I see you there with your microphone. Thank you so much for taking time out and joining us.
It's a great pleasure. Great to be here. Thank you very much.
No, thank you for coming on.
Hope you're not going to ask me to do any press ups, because that's just not going to happen.
I forgot to mention the guests have to do it too.
No, not happening.
Sorry.
And can I also apologise for my lockdown hair? I am so looking forward to going to a barber at some point in the future when we can.
I think you
look great, mate. I think if you get a chance to check out the Digital Beans weekly vlog from last week, you'll be able to see all of our hair scenarios. And I think we've all said that hairdressers are going to be making a fortune by the time we're out of this. Because my fiance cut my hair and it's all over the place. Like, you can see where it's not cut properly now. Luckily enough, on camera you can't. And I think for people out there, by the way, who are doing content, a good thing for them if they have got rubbish haircuts is to podcast, right? Because you don't have to see their faces. It's all audio based. It's all great.
Exactly. I mean, or the radio, both of those work fine. Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
I've definitely got an invested interest working in radio as well. But I just want to hit on, first of all, James. Yesterday, we saw the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, England footballer Harry Kane. Dua Lipa was on there, David Tennant, AJ Anthony Joshua was there as well. They all appeared in a minute-long message broadcast simultaneously across every radio station in the UK. That happened yesterday. I think it was just before 11. It included both national and local radio stations join up doing the same thing for the first time ever. I'd like to hear from you first a bit about what an incredible moment this was for British broadcasting, because for anyone out there who doesn't know, we basically made history yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's a tremendous thing when the BBC and commercial radio work together. And that essentially means that everybody who was listening to the radio at that point would have heard exactly the same audio, which is a tremendous thing. It's happened in other countries. It happened in Finland. One of the reasons why it happened in Finland is it was World Radio Day, and they were promoting how wonderful radio was. But the real secret of why they were doing just the same piece of audio, telling you how important radio was, the real secret, they were testing the early warning system. Genuinely. And just making sure that all of that worked, which I just thought was a fantastic thing. But yeah, so it's a wonderful thing, and to talk about mental health particularly, radio is a very important thing in terms of mental health, and right now, it's not a great time for a lot of people, and it's a great thing to be part of. So that's a great thing.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think you hit on it there about the importance of talking about mental health and the importance of being there for people. That's why I got into radio. For me, I was going through tough times without giving my big story away. I was going through a really tough time at school. I put on the radio every morning. I was listening to Chris Moyles. I put on the radio when I got home, listening to Scott Mills, and they made me happy. They put a smile on my face, and that's what I wanted to do for other people. That's why I went into radio. So the importance of radio at the moment during lockdown and during a pandemic is significant, isn't it?
It is, yeah, absolutely it is. And there's been lots of research showing that, radio is a tremendous thing in raising our moods. It's one of the things of, Heart calls itself a feel-good radio station, particularly because of that, because it actually plays, up music that gets you moving and gets you feeling more positive about things. So, it's a tremendous tool for changing people's moods. One of the times that I used to really enjoy being on the radio was on Christmas morning. Because then you really know that you've got people who are listening to you, and you are probably the only human voice that they're going to hear all day. Yeah. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to be on the air, and it's such a privilege too. So, it's a tremendous thing.
100%. I've done a Christmas Day shift. I've also done a Boxing Day morning shift, which is the opposite end of the scale, because you've got people waking up severely hungover.
Exactly
like,
right.
Turn the music down. I can't control that. That's you. Do it on your own at home. I mean, you mentioned there about being there for people, and I'm sorry to put you on a spot slightly here. But have you seen? I mean, obviously during the pandemic, so many radio stations have had to do things differently. Like Radio 1 done a bit of an alternative schedule where they changed around presenters every couple of weeks to minimise people going into to the radio station. But also stations like Hadham FM and other stations up and down the UK are doing features. I know KMFM are doing quite a bit of work with local carers and pushing out their messaging as well. Have you seen anything that radio stations are doing great right now?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, apart from anything else, just having a human voice on the air is a great thing, and some form of human connection. It's something that Spotify can't do. It's something that, Deezer or any other music service can't do. So actually, just the human is a great step forward. But you've got radio stations in the US doing some really good charity work. You've got radio stations, across many different countries doing some really interesting things. And of course, it's really hard because in quite a lot of cases they can't go in and do their normal work,
Yeah.
So quite a lot of people are sitting at home doing their show in the same way that we're doing it here, with a laptop and a microphone, and that's kind of it. And so, it's really difficult to do a great show, but people are not only doing a great show, but also, making a real difference to the community that they're broadcasting to.
Yeah, we've got a few presenters doing their shows from home. You wouldn't notice the difference. You really wouldn't. The software and the technology is just out there now for people to be able to do it. But obviously, there's also nothing like being in a studio. I absolutely love driving that desk and being in front of that studio microphone. It's incredible. And obviously, I see there, James, you've got one at home, as so many people have now who are investing and doing podcasts and podcasting. I'm really excited to do this bit with you, because podcasts, as we can see online, have just seen some great listenership recently. The results are through the roof for people listening to podcasts, and the number of podcasts that are out there now, and unique ideas that are going into these different podcast topics. I mean, for you at the moment in the because we've seen a transition over the last couple of years, haven't we, from video to podcasts and etc. Is this still just a trend? Is podcasting still a trend, or are podcasts quickly becoming now part of essential entertainment?
Well, I mean, I think you need to be careful. You need to not necessarily grow podcasts more than they really are. So right now, if you look at radio, 9 out of 10 people in the UK listen to radio every single week. And that number's not different to Australia, which is where I'm talking to you from, to other countries, the US, Canada, and so on and so forth. So 9 out of 10 for radio, which is a mass market medium. So if you're a small business and you want to advertise and make sure that you're going to reach a lot of people, radio is the place to go, absolutely, without a doubt. Then you have a look at podcasting. Podcasting in the UK is about 1 in 5 people. So it's not 9 out of 10, it's just 1 in 5, but they are far more niche. They're far more focused podcasts. So if you're a company that produces, purple wool, then there will be a podcast out there for knitting in purple that you can be advertising on. Or if there isn't, you can actually make it and make sure that you are actually producing great content for people that are interested in the product that you actually go out and sell. So there's a bunch of really clever ways that you can use podcasts, and just, reaching different people in different ways than you can on, mainstream broadcast radio.
Yeah, and you mentioned there about people investing and creating some of their own content and doing their own podcasts. For you, have you got any tips for people starting out in the podcasting world?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, make them good. That's usually a good plan, because I think there were 91,000 new podcasts just last month. 91,000 podcasts. I would take a guess that about 89,000 of those were rubbish, but about 2,000 of those were really, really, really good.
You need to update those podcast playlists. I tell you, there's 2,000 good ones out there from last week.
Indeed, and so A, do that, and B, what you really need in terms of equipment and stuff. I've got a fancy microphone. You've got a fancy headset microphone. Jack's got a t-shirt, all of that. You can start doing. There you go. He's got a great microphone. It's just a shame he's not using it. You can start doing a great podcast just with your mobile phone and a free app called Anchor, which will get you on there, get you into all of the podcast apps. It's a great way for you to try things out, see what works, see what doesn't. And when you're ready to take that next step and ready to, take it a little bit more seriously, there's a bunch of great podcast hosts out there as well who can really help you, move what you're doing forward. But don't go out and spend thousands of pounds on a mixing desk and on a fancy microphone and everything else. You really do not need that. All you need is a mobile phone to get going.
Is podcasting a must now for businesses, would you say, James, or has it got to be done on, so to speak, a personality and so to speak, a content sort of direction basis in terms of what you want to achieve?
I mean, I don't know whether it's a must, but it does a number of different things. It's great marketing and great PR for you, but also secondly, a podcast is a great way of getting a good amount of time with somebody who you've always wanted to have a chat with anyway. So if that's something that is good for your business, if it's a great way to actually meet new people that you really want to get in front of, but you can't ring them up and say, I'd really like a chat. Please, could I have a chat? Then a podcast is a really simple way of actually doing that, and spending a bit of time with them. So it can do a number of different things. And of course, if you've got a big enough podcast, then you can start earning cash out of that as well.
Yeah, of course. There's so many revenue streams. I've got one more question for you, James, and this is a bit of a beefy one. This one: podcasts versus radio. Which will be listened to more in 10 years' time?
I would probably say radio, although it's probably going to be a bit of a tight thing. So radio has lots and lots of listening. I mean, not just the 9 out of 10 thing, but also we listen to lots more radio than we do podcasting. So radio, we listen to in the UK. You guys listen to about 20 hours of radio a week. You listen to about 6 hours of podcasts a week. So there's a big difference there. But having said that, I suspect that more and more people will get used to on demand, and more people will get used to podcasting. And that's great news for those people who are making podcasts. And it will probably change the way that we make radio as well. There's a radio station in London on DAB, but also across the UK on Radio Player called Podcast Radio. And all it does is it broadcasts podcasts. And my podcast, Pod News, very good, podnews.net, you should subscribe. That's on there, as is loads of other podcasts as well. And I think that's probably some of where the future of radio is going, is actually taking some of the great content that you can get off podcasts and sticking it on the air as well.
I mean, James, thank you so much for coming on. There's so much useful information in there. You just mentioned about podnews.net. Where else can people find you potentially to grab hold of some more information from you, or to potentially follow you and find out more?
Yeah, so I've got 2 different newsletters. If I can fill your email box up, one of them is a daily podcast newsletter called podnews.net. Podnews.net, it's very good. And the other one is about radio trends. So if you're interested in where the future of radio is going, then you can sign up for that at james.crid.land.
Brilliant. Thank you, James. Thank you so much for coming on, and definitely want to pick your brain some more about podcasting. So hopefully we can get you on again in the future. Thanks again, and stay safe out there and take care.
It's a great pleasure. Cheers.
Cheers, James. Thank you. Bye, mate. Wow, I love that. I could ask so many more questions. I'm fascinated with podcasts at the moment. I know you are as well, Jack.
Yeah, it's really one of those things that's kind of, I wouldn't say come out of nowhere, but it's interesting, the comparison to radio, because I wonder if podcast is something which will be generational and it'll start to kind of take over, or maybe not take over, but dominate more than radio over the years.
Potentially, and I think maybe like at some point, some people might end up listening to podcasts more than they do daily shows. So the likes of Chris Moyles, who's on Radio X at the moment, I listen to his podcast more than I do listen to his radio show. So maybe that's where radio goes in terms of collaborating with a podcast world. But definitely, I mean, we're talking about doing some in-depth shows as a bit of a different thing for Let's Do Lunch. Would love to talk to James some more about that stuff. I mean, there's so many more questions we could ask, isn't there? But not enough time, because we've got Nimisha on in a bit, who's the founder of Nims Fruit Crisp. We're going to be talking a little bit about innovation and the awards that they've recently been winning. We've got Benjamin Linden on doing a 9-second tip in a minute. Challenge Jack, we're going to be attempting the press up challenge, 10 press ups. We're going to smash them out, and we're going to work up a sweat before the end of the show. But right now, we're going to do it on your count, mate. So it better be good. Right now, though, actually, should we do the 90-second tip now? I think we should move into it. We're doing the swans at the start of the show. This guy doesn't need an invitation to show off the swans. Benjamin Linden, our lead web developer and account manager, is with us. How you doing, mate?
Good afternoon.
How's it going, mate?
Yeah, good. I'm just going to throw in the obligatory forgive my lockdown hair.
What I love is actually it's all sticking up as you've done that at the back.
Yeah.
It's almost like a hairstyle now.
I've just given up.
With the big curly fro, and you've dyed it. Is that what you're going for?
Who knows?
Do it.
One.
Was this a picture?
I'll grow a mullet. Shake on it.
We'll put it to the viewers. Make a vote.
Yeah, that's challenge Jack for next week. Who can grow a mullet first? Was that picture you're talking about, Jack, on one of our early videos for like first social media profiles? Was that it? The first social media profile pictures?
Yeah.
I remember that. Well, on to lighter things, mate. We won't get that picture out. Can we find it? Let's talk about today's 90-second tip. We had Roxana smashing it last week, talking about how you can use Google to enhance an SEO strategy. Today, you're going to be talking a little bit about Facebook ads competitor analysis, aren't you?
Yeah. So I'm going to show you how you can find which ads your competitors are running. But I'm ready when you guys are. If you want to hit the timer.
Just quickly, why is it important for people to search out and seek what their competitors are doing on Facebook?
Well, I mean, the main thing I'm coming at this from is, say, for example, if you're a new business who hasn't got into Facebook ads before. So when it comes to the creative process, obviously you want your ads to stand out more than the competitors. So through this example, we're going to show somebody starting ads for the very first time and essentially just trying to get their ads right. The most important thing is because obviously, Facebook has such a limited audience that, if two companies selling the exact same product are advertising on Facebook, they're going to be targeting the exact same people. So that ad has to really, really stand out. So it's hugely beneficial to look at what ads your competitors are running so you can design yours in a way that just, beats them out of the park and gets all the clicks.
No, it sounds good. And it sounds important as well. It's always good to find out what your competitors are doing. Always
definitely.
good. So that you can be better.
Definitely, and there's a little bonus tip at the end as well I've got for you.
Oh, amazing. Well, do you want to share your screen with us?
Yeah.
If you click on share screen and take us to where you need to go. I'm hoping it's going to work today. It didn't work for some reason with Roxana. Oh, here we go. Yeah, we've got it.
Cool. So you see me on Google, yeah?
Here we go. Yeah, we've got you on Google now. Right. So Jack's going to count you in and let you know when your 90 seconds starts.
Okay, cool.
3, 2, 1.
Cool. So we're going to use an example from the Milky Tea Co. We had her on last week, the lovely Lauren. So she sells breastfeeding tea-shirts. So first of all, you want to do a quick Google search to see who your competitors actually are. Nice that she's very first at the top. So we're going to use her second competitor here, happymama.co.uk. So we're just going to check out their website, determine that they are a competitor, and then we're going to find their Facebook page. And you can do this on absolutely any Facebook page, whether it's a business or just a charity or literally anything. So you want to scroll down until you see the page transparency section here, and then click see more. And then once you're here, this little section here will tell you if they are running ads. So we can see this page is currently running ads. So then we go to the library. And then this will show you all the ads that they have running at the moment. You can't see historical ads, but all the ones that are running at the moment over the last 90 days. So you can see these ads aren't particularly appealing. They're not really going to catch many eyes. So straight away that, if you can make your ad look better than these, you're going to stand quite a high chance of getting all the clicks from, more or less the same audience that you are both targeting.
I mean, it's nice and simple, isn't it?
Yeah, I like
it's
it.
Nice and simple.
So for a bonus tip, if you are making a purchase online, it's always good to check out the company's Facebook page and see what ads they're running, because most remarketing ads do offer unique discount codes that they don't show anywhere else, and you'll see it all in here.
Cool. So you don't need to just use it as a business. You could use it also as someone
as
who's
a
looking to shop.
Yeah.
Good
I haven't
shout.
actually managed to find any yet, but it's definitely worth checking out.
Nimisha's got a question from Nim's Fruit Chris, who we've got in a minute. Is it the same with video ads?
Yes. Absolutely. Anything that they are promoting. Video ads, events, posts, images, everything.
You can basically see them in there. Amazing. Ben, that was a wicked tip. So obviously on that, then you can divulge a strategy to make better adverts than your competitors. Bosh.
Oh, yeah.
All before you spend the dough.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it. Ben, thank you for coming on, mate. Appreciate that.
Cool. That's
really, really cool. And why should people do Facebook ads more than any other platform?
That's highly subjective.
There we go. Perfect.
Okay, I know. To answer, it's the plethora of targeting options that you have. You can target absolutely anybody. Somebody who's just had a newborn baby, 6 months old, lives in a certain postcode. It's crazy. You can't target anybody like that anywhere else.
Did you just come on to Let's Do Lunch and use the word plethora?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't swallow dictionaries on this show. Have you heard it before? We use layman terms, mate.
So I'll post a link to a dictionary in the comments below.
Ben, that is brilliant. Thank you so much for coming on today, buddy, and we'll see you again on the show soon, I'm sure. And are you going to join us for the press ups?
Maybe.
Oh, cool. Stay in the green room then. Get that camera in a good position so we can see it. Cheers, mate.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. That was useful. I enjoyed that.
That was good.
Isn't it amazing the random tips and bits of advice that can help businesses and people out there like expand on what they're doing? And they're so simple, most of them as well.
Right. That's the point.
We're on it. It's time for you to introduce our second guest.
All right then. We have Nimisha Raja, founder of Nim's Fruit Crisps. Each pack of Nim's one-ingredient fruit and veg crisps retains much of the nutritional content, including fiber and vitamin C, and counts as one of your 5 a day. Really? Between 36 and 78 calories a pack, our multi-award-winning crisps are the perfect healthy snack for any occasion for adults and children alike. Hello, how you doing?
Hey, how are you? Very well, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
That's all right, thanks for coming. What should I call you, Nimisha or Nim?
Nimisha, please.
Nimisha, no worries. Can you just explain a bit about what gave you the idea and how you started out?
Yes, of course. I was looking for a healthy snack for children, really. I just felt most of the snacks weren't truly healthy, although they always say 100% natural. They weren't. It had about a list of 50 ingredients on the back of the pack. So I can't see how that's natural. So it was finding a snack for children that children wanted to eat and parents were happy for them to eat. And it was that marriage of where parents are always shoving fruit into the hands of children and children are always trying to get them to buy a packet of crisps. And I thought, well, mix the two together and there you go. Hopefully it's a perfect product for both parents and children.
Sure, it kind of bridges the gap between the two
Stop
things.
The arguments. It was more about the tantrums in the supermarkets and the coffee shops and, I want this, no, you can't have that. So wouldn't it be amazing if, parents and children were to say, yeah, I want that. Yes, you can have a packet of crisps. I think, and the idea is that we always think, we've got to bribe children with things. And we don't need to tell children this is healthy or anything. We just need to say, do you want a packet of crisps? And then hand them a packet of crisps. That is one of their 5 a day. And it's made just from fruit or vegetables. Yeah.
Wow. I'd love to try some. How did you... That'd be great. Wow.
I will do. We'll send you some.
What were the early days like when you started out? Something about a shed, I think I read.
Well, it was a shed, and then I upgraded to a garage. I mean, that was like momentous. It was. I converted to garage. Yeah. So when I became really big, I got into a garage. But yes, it was. It was. Working nights and weekends and making my own crisps and slicing them by hand and drying them and then packing them and labeling them and walking around to local shops. Saying, with a tray of fruit crisps, look, why don't you put this on the counter? Don't pay me any money. I'll come back next week. And if you've sold some, you can pay me for them. And it wasn't more a business, and it was more like market research to see if people liked these products because they were so different. They still are, fairly unique. Not everybody understands what a fruit crisp is. We used to go to consumer shows and trade shows and say to people, would you like to try a fruit crisp? And they had no idea what it really meant. They thought, so if I said, oh, that's a pineapple crisp, they thought it was what we call an extruded snack, manufactured from lots of other ingredients and then flavored with pineapple. What they were quite amazed about was the fact that this is a pineapple that's been sliced and dried and it's crispy, and therefore it's a pineapple crisp. So it was I know it sounds silly, but it was amazing for me to realize that people had difficulty getting their head around the concept because we're so used to eating all these complicated procedures that go into making a crisp or snack.
Yeah, I was going to ask you actually about the process. How did you come across the actual process of air drying?
Well, the air drying came a lot later. I just wanted to make crisps that were healthy and preferably made out of fruit. And what other? So I did lots and lots of research. And I mean, without the internet, I'm not sure I would have ever got here because I knew nothing about manufacturing or anything like that. So lots and lots of research went into how do I make dry fruit, processed fruit, if you like. And this freeze drying is one way. Drying is an age-old method, I'm sure you know. Is to put fruit and veg out in the sun and leave it to dry. Can't quite get away with that with health and safety nowadays, so I have a bit of a problem. But yes, it was a matter of finding a process that I felt kept lots of the nutrition and actually worked in making it crispy. Freeze drying sounded a bit artificial as well. So, and drying is not so artificial, really. You're just literally putting it in an oven or a dehydrator. Then air drying came a lot later because I was putting them in dehydrators. Again, I don't know if you know what they are. It's sort of hot ovens that with trays, and you by hand put every slice separately, stick it in there for about 10, 12 hours. But it was important that we don't, in the process, kill all the nutrients. I remember buying my daughter a fruit smoothie, a well-known brand, and it said just fruit, one of your 5 a day. But then you realize it's been pasteurized, which is at really high heat. No vitamin C left, hardly any fiber left or anything. So I wanted to find ways of retaining as much of the nutritional content, if you like. So yeah, all our fruit and veg crisps have lots of vitamins and fiber and everything else in it. Because we don't peel anything either, apart from pineapple. So all the fibers in the skin. Yeah, I have tried actually making crisps with pineapple skin as well, but no. I might send you some, see what you think.
Was it a bit chewy?
It's a tiny bit, and a bit, makes your throat a bit sore with all the spiky bits of skin. Yeah, no, it didn't quite work.
No. But I'd love to
What's
try
your favourite crisp? What's your favourite crisp? What do you eat?
My favourite crisp ever?
Yes.
They're these ones, I can't remember what they're called now, but I think they're made from like lentils. And they're snaps, but it's the chili and lemon flavour. You get them at Holland and Barrett, they're my favourites. Yeah.
They're great. A great balance actually, flavouring chili and lemon. They're really great. Yeah.
I enjoy them.
Mine's Walker's cheese and onion, actually, apart from Nims, of course.
You can't beat a cheese and onion crisp. Sorry, I had to pitch in there.
It used to be Golden Wonder. I used to love the Golden Wonder. Now I'm showing my age, but yes, moved on to the Walker's cheese and onion. That's my.
See, I never understood the Monster Munchers. Do you know I couldn't ever get that. I was never into my Monster Munch ever.
No, it was the first in the big bag of crisps as well, from what I remember. Wasn't it? It was a really huge bag as well, or maybe that was when I was little. I don't know, but it seemed very big.
It was a longer, thinner bag, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And Ringos.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! Now we're going back a bit. You're showing your age now.
Well, I am 40 next week.
Oh well. Oh, what a happy birthday for next week then. I'm just a bit behind you.
So this very innovative product got the attention of the Queen's Awards.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
I was at a networking thing at the town hall in Kent. Kent is so great, to be a part of. I absolutely love working and being in Kent because there's such a great food community. And I happened to meet somebody who's involved in the Queen's Awards, and they said, "Oh, you really should enter." Excuse me. I was talking to her. She said, "Oh, you really?" I said, "Oh, well, Queen's Award. That's a bit, high and very inspiring to be able to get one of those." But I didn't ever think we'd stand a chance, to be honest. But yes, we did it, and literally at the last minute submitted the application, and here we are. I was just totally blown away, and more so not because it's just a Queen's Award, but it's for innovation, which is what Nims is all about. What we're the only fruit crisp manufacturer. We're the only ones still doing the range that we are doing. Nobody else can quite get to that, and that's what's important to me, and that's what I love about doing what I do, is coming up with innovative products. So we also launched the first ever edible tea, if you like. So this is tea made of and I think it's possibly a world first, a tea made of air-dried fruit and vegetables, believe it or not, and you put them in an infuser or in a mug, put hot water in, and it infuses into a beautiful fruit tea that tastes of fruit, not of chemicals, not of oils, doesn't feel like there's oil in there. And then the fruit rehydrates back to its original state. Once you've drunk the tea, you can eat the fruit that's there or put it on your cereal. So from picking an apple or a beetroot or whatever, not peeling it, making it into crisps, and then taking the bits that we take out of the crisp, which are too small, making that into a tea, which you then drink the tea and eat, is just a whole sustainable supply chain. There is absolutely no waste, again, apart from pineapple skin. I've got to find a use for that. But yeah, we have virtually no waste in any of our products or production process. So, which is an added bonus, I guess, as well.
And as you mentioned before, because of the process, you're not losing any of the nutrients, or
every process will lose a little bit. I'd say a high amount of it's still there. But yes, if you're having one of our teas, which you drink and eat, again, that's one of your 5 a day that right there, so that's quite important. I don't like to hammer home the healthy side of it, because actually it's the taste and the flavor that I think wins most people over, not just the health aspect of it, that it is a true taste of fruit, and almost a concentrated, because we're extracting the water out of the product, so all you're left with is the intense flavor.
Yeah, I'd love to try it. I'd love to try that. I think we've got time for just one more question, if that's okay.
Sure.
What about the future then? What does the future hold for NIMS?
Lots more innovation. We have lots of things in the pipeline. We're just launching a range of infusions. So these are orange, lemon, lime, grapefruit, all sorts of fruits for you to put into a drink. So whether it be to infuse a water bottle or in gin. We work with a really great craft gin club for their infusion. So we work with them quite a lot. And they come up with lots and lots of different ideas, and we try and make that happen for them, so that it goes into their subscription boxes. So that's such a learning curve working with them. They're fantastic guys to work with. But yeah, that's our next launch in just 2-3 weeks time. And then a few other products coming. So I'll have to come back, and I'll make sure that next time I send you our innovation before I talk to you, and then you know what we're talking about.
No, we'd love to, yeah. You can have NIMS Pims.
NIMS and Pims is something I've been playing with, and I've actually put some posts up, tagging Pims, and the clock is ticking, they need to take up the offer quite soon before I give it to somebody else, but it has a nice sound to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, because you could sell them as like little gift bags. You've got your glass, exactly. You've got the bottle, then you've got the dried fruit. It's not going to spoil. Perfect.
And actually, cucumber goes with Pims, doesn't it? Do you put a cucumber in Pims? I'm not a great drinker. Would you put cucumber in Pims?
I think so. I shy away a little bit from those kind of summery sort of drinks.
Summer, that's a nice way of putting it. Okay, summer, because we do dried cucumber as well. And again, it just turns back into a slice of cucumber once you put it in a drink, and it's just amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I honestly didn't know that this stuff was possible. It's been an education, and thank you very much for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me on.
No worries. We'd love to have you again, and we look forward to more of your innovations.
Thank you, brilliant. Good luck. Thank you, Ben. Bye.
Thank you for coming on. Bye-bye. Again, another amazing guest.
What a cool product. I love that.
What an amazing product.
Yeah.
I can't wait to try some. And also, by the way, again, we're talking about talking to people in depth, and possibly get James back on again. Nimisha would be a great person to talk about innovating as a business owner and bits and pieces like that. Thank you so much for coming on. And Nim's Fruit Crisp, go check them out. I've heard reviews. They're amazing. I actually need to get on and get ordering some because I'm now hungry and I really want to try some. Right. One last message from me. Please, guys, hit subscribe on the Digital Beans channel. You'll be able to get a reminder whenever we go live. Facebook.com/groups/SMEs Kent. Make sure you go and join our Facebook group. Your business could be featured in our featured 5 next week. On Thursday's show. Keep saying next week. Thursday show. We've got another show this week. But right now, Jack, it's time for Challenge Jack. And this time, you're not getting wet. Well, maybe, but with us all, because this is going to be a sweaty one, potentially.
We're still doing that?
Yeah, we are. So, we are doing the press up challenge. You've nominated some businesses, but for some reason, for whatsoever, I can't get on Instagram. I don't know what's going on. So we can't see what those businesses are doing. However, if you do want to join in, just video yourself doing the 10 press up challenge and we'll share the videos on Thursday's show. So what you've done, Jack, is you have nominated the team.
Who we got?
Okay, we have Benjamin Linden is back with us. He's currently scratching his head because he can't believe that he's agreed to do this, and he's on mute, so it's perfect. We can't get any reaction from him. Are you doing your press ups on your sofa? Why have you just cleaned off your sofa?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do them on the sofa.
Press ups on a sofa?
Where else am I going to do it? You're not going to be able to see.
Right. Okay. And
okay, no, you're right. Yeah, I'll do them on the floor. You're right.
Good idea.
And we also have Jack.
Yeah.
Roxana.
Hi guys.
Look at this. But everyone else has chickened out.
Look at the four of us.
Look at the four of us, right? Oh god, so I'm gonna have to get on the floor here, aren't I? Oh.
Is this happening?
Guys, it's a good job we're all wearing trousers. Right. Jack, are you going to count us in? So this is Challenge Jack. This is where Jack either challenges businesses or people to do something that he does or that he's going to do at the end of the show, or you vote for Jack to do a challenge. Today it's the 10 press-up challenge, so we'll have to do 10 press-ups. Right, yeah. Okay, cool. Join in at home, record it, and send us a video. Right, Jack, do you want to count them?
Yeah, sure. Are you ready?
Right, ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
3. 7, 8,
10.
10.
Look at him!
Look at him going! Look at him! He's still going!
Just
we
calm down.
He's still going. Look at this!
He's just showing off.
Ben, you need to get your bum down a bit more, mate. Look at that. 10 press-up challenge. Well done, everyone. High fives all around.
In the middle. One,
in the middle. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3. No, over there. No, where is it? Wherever it is. Thank you, Roxana. Thank you, Ben, for coming on and doing that. You have proper represented the Digital Beans team when no one else did. We know who's got our back. Say that again, Jack.
I'm really red and breathless, and Ben's just like that. Yeah, I did.
I'm dying, bro. Trust me.
He's like, guys, can I go, please? I've got another 25.
I thought you were gonna swap to the one arm.
I was thinking.
Do a clap.
We're just lucky that he didn't do it topless like he usually does.
You did it topless earlier.
Oh, well, there we go. That's a treat for you and not for our viewers. Right, let's leave it there today then, shall we? Guys, thank you for watching. Nimisha and James, thank you for coming on. Roxana, thank you for joining us for the challenge. Ben, thank you for doing the tip and obviously smashing the challenge. And we'll be back on Thursday with 2 more great guests. Jack, what have I done?
You've forgotten to line the guests up again. Yeah,
I've forgotten to open the document to see what guests are on the show on Thursday.
I think we're going to get a new producer, I think.
A new producer, new host, new everything, I think. Right, let's go here. Here we go. Right, I've got it. On Thursday's show, we are going to be joined by the brilliant John Butt, who works around the road from us at Lakeview Business Park. He's got a company called Fire Protection Online. We're going to talk about how they've combated the pandemic, kept the business going, and how e-commerce is doing for them. And we'll be kicking off a very special Challenge Jack with Timothy Armu, who works for a company called Fanbytes that work in TikTok marketing. There is a teaser for you. That will be on Thursday's show. Until then, stay safe, stay at home, take it easy. I'm dying. Speak to you later. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.